Today I'm reacting to Dandadan episode 1. The full reaction is on Patreon. This like tribal art style going on is really, really interesting. That's a gorgeous shot. I love the vibe, just even seeing the characters dance. They're really, really cool. Oh, I love all the different art styles going on. It's really, really great to see. Okay, right into it. What's happening? Yes, stand up to that man. He doesn't deserve to treat you that way. Ain't he a charmer? That was your boyfriend. He sucked. Love the animation. Oh, okay, so the show's a comedy. I didn't know what genre it was before I started watching. You'll meet your Mr. Look at the way she's moving, it's perfect. That's so harsh. She's gonna kick their butt. This voice actor is crazy. My dude, you need to slow down. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at his face. Okay. I'm loving the vibe of all this so far. It's all just such a different vibe from what I'm used to. It's really feeling like a breath of fresh air. Like, just to reiterate, I literally knew nothing about this show before starting it. All I knew is that it was popular, and I think it's that it's for 12s. Both voice actors are doing a 10 out of 10 job. Oh. The like rubber animation is perfect. Neither can I. Gopher? Oh, this is great. No, I really like this. This is a lot of fun. Okay. So I don't know if this show actually will have supernatural things, or that was just said for the sake of it. Gorgeous art style. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Alright, this is all starting to shape up. What are we gonna get? Great shot. I would be way too scared to do this. That's just how believing in ghosts works. God, I can't get over how good looking the animation is. It's fantastic. Really, really. Why are boys so horrible to her? Don't like that. Oh. That was a beautiful shot. Oh, that transition was perfect. God, even just this red sky, so many different colors going on in such a short amount of time. The show is doing a great job of portraying both of them as outcasts from society thus far. Oh. No, thank you. We just met. I really hope that wasn't her grandmother. Turbo Granny, are you joking? Oh, all the lights like coming off at the right time. Perfect. We saw him in the OP. Oh, don't like that. Oh god, no. I thought this show was for 12s. What the hell? Oh no. This show is not for 12s. Ew. Please let this stop. Ew. I'm glad, because I really didn't want to see that. Has Turbo Granny come to save her? Good. Oh, it's him! What's underneath? Love the music going on in the background though, really, really great. I think even for this to be the first episode, it's introducing the technology really, really well. I'm glad you're happy, but these aliens are not the nice type. Not the music coming in. Oh, fantastic shot with the reflection. Oh, the dialogue is so funny. Yeah, really. You're violent. Not looking at that. Oh, that shot is just perfect. I keep saying it, but like I'm just blown away by the animation of this show. Mama. I don't think the shot needed to start there. That's great. A little arc for her just within this one episode. Great sound design right there. Perfect, perfect shot. Very reminiscent of the animation we had in the OP. Ew. I'm very interested to see what the actual Japanese dialogue is for this episode. Wonder what the outside world is going to think of everything that's just happened here. That was so cute, the way he followed him.
全部自分のせいなんで、どうにか根性でトンネルまで行きますから、その後はどうにかします。
さっきだってうちいなかったらあんた死んでたよ。
いいんですか？自分なんかに協力しても。
Oh, he still doubts himself. That's cute.
ほら、服着て。
不器用なんで。綾瀬さん、服着てください。
That's great, a little bit of comedy back and forth.
また高倉健のセリフを言ったからびっくりしただけ。
Okay, that's actually really good, bringing that into it.
うち名前覚えるの苦手でさ。
おお、高倉健です。
Dandadan. Is this our ED? I wonder if it's going to be a different ED each time like Chainsaw Man, or is this just a standard ED for the whole season? Great vocal performance in the song. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes since I first watched the episode. I gotta say, I really did like this. I'm a bit surprised in the sense that I knew going into it that this was going to be for 12s. I just happened to see it right as I was about to begin the episode for the first time. I wasn't entirely sure if 12s was referring to the amount of episodes there's going to be, or the age demographic that this is intended to be viewed by. Although from what I've seen in it thus far, it seems to be more so catered to the likes of, let's say, 15-year-olds rather than 12-year-olds. But be that as it may, there's a lot that I really loved about Dandadan, and on the basis of this first episode alone, I would very much be intrigued to watch more and edit more reactions and do it the whole way up. But I do have a reservation about it, so I'm going to get that out of the way now, because it's really the one negative thing I have to say, but it's also probably the most important thing I have to say about what I've seen so far. And for you watching these reactions, I want you to know going into it that I really dislike when anime do the fan service for the female characters in the show, and I'm especially just kind of sick and tired of seeing that particular type of violence used against women as a plot device. And of course, in this case, it's not a woman, it is a teenage girl. Look, I don't think there's a huge amount I really need to elaborate on the hows and whys behind that sentiment. I'd like to imagine, hopefully, that that you can understand why that particular subject matter and the representation of it, and the constant representation of it, particularly when it has to do with a character who is underage. And in this case, I mean, like you're kind of watching and thinking to yourself, does she need to be dressed in that kind of a way? Like, could they have had that being as a plot device, but then also just have her keep her clothes on and have the threat of her clothes being ripped off? Or they rip off her clothes, but then take out the very overt, I mean, like they basically took out their mechanical erections for that sequence. So if it was one out of the two of those things, I would have been like, okay. But having two of them together, for me, it was uncomfortable to the point where, only for the fact that the rest of the episode was so good, and hopefully this is the first time we're getting something like that, that I was able to kind of get on board, but in general, it's just not comfortable watching. So, I mean, to give you an example, the likes of Neon Genesis Evangelion is something that for me just kind of, spoiler alert, I guess, just kind of got consistently worse and worse with that regard, to the point where when it came to watching the end of Evangelion, it was excessive to the point where I'm like, this is just something that I can't remove myself from the seriousness of the subject matter, as well as the ethics of representing this type of violence with underage characters and framing the female characters in a very male gaze-esque manner for a young demographic. All of that combined is just not something I can get on board with. It's not even saying like I think the filmmakers should be cancelled or anything like that. It's just, for me as a viewer, I know I could be watching other things that don't have that. So that being said, I still have the next 2 episodes to watch, and I won't make a decision on whether or not I'll continue until I reach about the 3rd episode. Even if the next 2 episodes do have stuff that's very egregious, I'll most likely wait until episode 3 or 4 to kind of make a big decision on that. But yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be people who will say, well, they're not actually trying to sexualize her. What they're doing there is they're portraying a scenario. It's like come on, with all the shots that they're doing, all of this would be wanting if we were talking about a woman, and it's not even a woman. It's a child. It's a child at the end of the day. We can have our back and forth discussions about the ethics and what about this, what about that. Well, I think this is okay and I don't think this is okay. But at the end of the day, it's a child we're talking about. So I'm always going to have that reservation. And if you are looking for reactions from a person that doesn't, there's plenty of other reaction channels out there. It's something that I'm going to be relatively strict on. But of course, I'm not going to be like the absolute most sensitive, but I'm certainly not going to be the most insensitive either. That being said, everything else I loved about the episode. I just loved the vibe of it. I went into it I thought maybe it might be actiony because it's very popular at the moment, and that seems to be kind of the trend with like the big anime that's very popular from what I understood. But no, it seems to be a comedy, and it seems to be one in which, you know, it's very focused on the characters, as obviously comedies tend to be, but to weave in all the different animation styles. I mean, like, that was the thing I was saying basically every 5 minutes on the reaction, right? It was just, this is beautiful, this is beautiful, this is beautiful. I love the pacing of the episode. I like, just boom, right within the 5 minutes, I'm the girl, you're the boy, I believe in supernatural entities, you believe in UFOs, let's have a challenge about it. Like, brilliant premise, immediately empathetic characters, and the ball just starts rolling right away. Got a lot of time for that. Really enjoyed that. And again, even for the episode to literally just have no filler, no like B-roll, no establishing shots, just literally cut in right at the beginning of dialogue, her kicking her boyfriend's ass because he's being a total creep. And again, how they kind of create a little arc there that kind of comes full circle when she ends up beating up one of the captors within the UFO itself. I thought that was really strong. I thought that for both of the characters have like a little bit of an arc in that kind of a sense of them kind of getting what they need amidst what they want is very strong. And, you know, with this being a pilot episode of a show that seems to be very much focused on delivering action and comedy, of course there isn't going to be a massive amount of exposition. But that being said, I still feel like we got enough. We got it in a way. I thought it was very strong to have the exposition held back until the very end of the episode, so then it works to solidify the emotional conclusion for both of them within that episode in a way that felt very natural and organic. It seems like there was so much, I guess you could say, entertainment up to that point that it didn't feel like, okay, it's the opening episode, we're getting our exposition dump kind of thing, which is fine for like a lot of shows to do. But I think whenever a show acts against that and cuts right to the action, it's a bit of a risk to take, and it really, for lack of a better term, it separates the men from the boys with regards to screenwriting ability. And I think in this case, it really paid off. So that being said, I am really dying to get into the next episode. I hope that you've enjoyed this review. If you were expecting to be watching a reactor who is a lot less sensitive to these particular issues, again, I understand, but this is the way I am. This is the way I'm always going to be, and it's the way I want to be. So we'll see what happens in the next 2 episodes. If I find it very egregious, then it may be a thing I'd want to stop, but I really don't want to stop reacting to a show when I've just began. As you may be aware, if you've been following the channel for a little bit, I had a number of health issues which led to me having to take a 4-month break from uploading at all, and it meant that a lot of what I was watching at the time unfortunately had to be relegated to just posting the remainder of the full reactions on Patreon, which I really really don't want to do. And as well as that, I was also tying with the idea of, well, in order to have more time to make more content, maybe some things will just be review only with the reaction on Patreon. And I did that for 3 episodes of Chainsaw Man, and I didn't like it at all. I missed getting the feedback from the reaction. I missed seeing the comments, even though there was only a few because I'm just starting off. And I also just kind of missed the process of being able to cut up these reactions. It takes quite a while to do, but I love it. I do genuinely love being able to do this. And watching this episode made me really appreciate it. Made me think to myself, yeah, this is definitely the right medium to be reacting to because I love everything that's happening. So I think I'm going to leave it there. If you've watched this far into the review and reaction, I want to thank you so much for all your support. Whether you're a free subscriber here on YouTube or you're one of my patrons, either way, thank you so much for all your support. It really does mean a lot. And that's pretty much it. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thanks for watching.